Hi everybody, it's Charles from Novak Migration. Today a few words about how New Zealanders who have been to Australia before 1st of September 1994 might be eligible for citizenship. So essentially, New Zealanders who traveled to Australia for any reason before 1st of September 1994 were regarded as exempt non-citizens under Australian migration law and are now considered to be former permanent residents. Okay. If you visited Australia as a New Zealand citizen before this date, 1st of September 1994, you may apply to the Department of Home Affairs to have your permanent resident status reinstated. This is done by applying for the resident return visa. If resident return visa will be granted, then after a year of permanent residence, you might become eligible for a citizenship. So that's how the grant of the resident return visa would look like. It will be granted for very likely for 1 year, and yes, you may live in Australia for 1 year, okay, and after this year you might be eligible for the citizenship. This is the grant letter which I received a couple of days from one of my New Zealand clients, granted within 3 weeks. It was quite quick. So essentially, if you would get a resident return visa granted, it is valid for 12 months. However, it does not mean that after these 12 months you would lose the permanent residency status. This is essentially the travel facility. So within these 12 months you can travel wherever you want, back and forth to Australia. If you will stay in Australia after this date, that's fine. You are still being considered a permanent resident. But if you will need to travel after the date must not arrive after, over here after 17th of April 2021, you would have to apply for another resident return visa. But if the goal is the citizenship, you are going to apply for the citizenship after 1 year being a permanent resident. So the citizenship requirement, residence requirement for citizenship by conferral is that the person must have been living in Australia for at least 4 years, okay, on any visa. So for New Zealanders it would be 444 for 3 years, then another year as a permanent resident. So 4 years total, and within these 4 years 12 months as the permanent resident. So over here last 12 months as resident return on the RRV as a permanent resident, and then another 3 years very likely as the special category visa holder 444. There is the additional requirement that within these 4 years a person cannot be away from Australia for more than 12 months in total, and no more than 90 days in past months as the permanent resident. So if this residency requirement is being met, quite likely a person, New Zealander, can become eligible for the citizenship. Of course, apart from that, there is a requirement for being the good person. There is the character requirement, and yeah, if everything is alright, you can apply for the citizenship. Any questions? If you need to apply for the visa, if you need to discuss your situation, feel free to give us a call, send us an email, and we'll see what we can do for you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.